Application of sociological theory to explain misinformation. Today, I will analyze misinformation as a public issue using sociological theory and empirical data. Misinformation refers to false or misleading information that is spread without necessarily intending to deceive. Although misinformation has always existed, its scale and speed have increased significantly in the digital era. Its impact goes beyond individual misunderstanding and affects public health, democratic processes, and social trust. For this reason, misinformation should be treated as a public issue, not merely a personal problem. At first glance, misinformation may seem like an individual issue. Someone reads incorrect information and believes it. However, sociology encourages us to look at broader consequences. When misinformation spreads widely, it influences collective behavior. It can shape how people vote, whether they trust medical advice, or how they perceive institutions and social groups. These effects operate at the societal level, which is why misinformation clearly qualifies as a public issue rather than a private failure. To analyze misinformation, I apply Wright Mill's concept of the sociological imagination. This concept helps us connect personal experiences with larger social structures. Exposure to misinformation is not random. It is shaped by media systems, platform algorithms, political polarization, and economic incentives that reward attention and emotional reactions. From this perspective, believing or sharing misinformation is not simply the result of ignorance. It reflects how information environments are structured and how certain types of content are amplified. Another useful perspective is Ulrich Beck's theory of the risk society. Modern societies face risks that are complex and difficult to observe directly, such as pandemics or climate change. During periods of uncertainty, people search for explanations that reduce anxiety and provide clarity. Misinformation spreads easily in these conditions because it often offers simple and emotionally appealing answers to complex problems. This helps explain why misinformation increases during crises. Empirical data demonstrates the scale of misinformation. A large international study analyzing thousands of COVID-19 related misinformation cases across more than 100 countries found that over 85% originated on social media, and more than 90% spread through online environments. Official national statistics from countries such as the United Kingdom and Australia also show that the majority of adults report encountering misinformation online. This confirms that misinformation is widespread and embedded in everyday digital life. Survey data reveals how people perceive misinformation. A global study of over 150,000 internet users found that more than half are concerned about misinformation. Concern tends to be higher among younger people and those with fewer economic resources. This suggests that people are aware of the problem, but awareness does not always translate into the ability to critically evaluate information. Misinformation has serious social consequences. In public health, it can undermine trust in scientific institutions and influence harmful behavior. In politics, it contributes to polarization and weakens democratic debate. Socially, misinformation reinforces inequalities, as vulnerable groups are often more exposed and less equipped to evaluate sources. In conclusion, misinformation is a structural social phenomenon, not simply individual error. Sociological theories help explain why misinformation spreads, why it persists, and why its effects are unevenly distributed. Addressing misinformation requires systemic solutions, including media literacy, institutional transparency, and accountability of digital platforms.